everybody. I was actually waiting for the bathroom. I didn't realize it was my turn. So I'll make it brief. But, you know, I am a high school teacher. I was working today, so let me really party down. Yeah, let's let it loose. Jesus. Sorry, let's cut it out. Really, the main reason I'm into comedy is because I just want to talk to a room of quiet people. We've done a tremendous job so far. I have a lot of teacher friends, and they say to me like, oh, I tell them I do comedy, and they're like, oh, how is that? Like, aren't you worried about bombing? It's like, look, you teach with me. You see me bomb 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Like, this is fine. They'll ask me, how do you know when you're doing a good job? And I say, as long as nobody asks to go to the bathroom, I'm doing okay. Doing fine. Man, teaching really sucks. Some of you are not surprised by that. You should have talked to me 3 years ago. It just sucks telling people what to do all the time when they don't want to do it. And, you know, it's rough. There's some rewarding days. I had a day actually, though. You know, you look at the silver lining. I had a day this year in January, very rough Friday. And kids are crazy on Fridays. And admin called me in at the end of the day and they said, this is your last day. And I was like, really? So I don't have to come back ever? See, I'd never been fired from a job before, so I didn't know the proper etiquette. I didn't know that you're supposed to contain your excitement. Oh, Jesus. But anyway, back at the job, you know, gotta make money. It's fine, everyth's okay. Let's talk about why I got fired. Maybe you want to know. A couple of people were like, why'd you get fired? True story, I got fired because I'm a big fan of cricket. It's a sport. Any round of applause? No, I'm not even going to do that. Let's cut that out. I'm a big fan of cricket. It's a sport much like baseball, but way better with more intricacies. And it lasts for 5 days. So I'm originally from India, and it makes sense because India is the biggest cricket nation. And it's like, of course the people who believe in reincarnation are going to be a fan of a 5-day game, right? We can handle it. It's okay. You got a 5-day game of cricket, and sometimes it'll end in a draw. Means nobody won. And I like that. Because they said, look, you motherfuckers were trying to hit this ball for 5 days in a row, and we couldn't decide who was better at it. So let's just give up on it. Let's just call it. What's the other thing? With climate change. Yeah, climate change. I think my favorite part, great segue, right? I think I heard that. Were y'all the Texans? So I actually moved to New York from Texas. I just want to say that the good thing about weather in Texas is you don't have to deal with it. You get into a car and that's it. That's life. And in New York City, perhaps you're aware, you have to be acquainted with the weather constantly. And you are not going to laugh at this punchline, by the way. Just putting that out there right now. In New York, when I moved, I had to look at my weather app all the time because I was like, let me dress appropriately. And I realized over 6 months that every time I looked at the weather app, I would dress, you know, based on what it said. and it would always be wrong. And I realized I wasn't refreshing the app. It doesn't automatically refresh. And I should have known. I'm a big Bob Dylan fan, and he said it in Subterranean Homesick Blues. You don't need a weather app to know which way the wind blows. I told you this would happen, right? I called this thing. Yeah, this is a callback. Yeah. Climate change. I'm excited about climate change because there's going to be no more small talk about the weather. We're done. That's it. Oh, is it 150 degrees today? Yep, definitely was that yesterday. I have to leave you very soon. Puncher wasn't a fan of my things, but what I want to say is Liz Warren should not be president. And it's not because she's a woman, it's because she's a Native American. We can't have a Native American president. We know how bad Trump is. Imagine him as a Native American. We sold Manhattan for some beautiful wampum. It's terrible. Vote Bernie. He's going to be better dead than alive. Yeah, thank you. Bye. Here is it.